Hi, I'm Lewis. I'm 47 years old. I live in London and I work as a product manager.
My name's Henry. I'm a doctor and I live with my husband in Suffolk.
How did you feel when you got the diagnosis?
Initially, I just couldn't believe it had happened to me. I thought it was a disease of old people, and I didn't feel I was old at 50. And I felt very angry. What about you? Because you were even younger than me when you were diagnosed.
Yes, I was 45 when I was diagnosed. I, I felt quite similarly to what you've described. I felt angry and I felt frustrated that I had got this so young. I had at that time just come out of a long-term monogamous relationship, and I was just sort of starting to explore my sexuality with more and other people. And so it felt like a real blow because it felt like this might kind of put an end to my sex life, which was quite important to me and quite an important part of my feeling of identity. So that really caused me some psychological problems. How did the side effects affect how you feel?
When I was on the hormone therapy in the run up to radiotherapy, I really felt quite low, and I got very worried at one point that my husband would sort of disappear on me. And I ended up starting some therapy, which I kind of wondered about having for years, but finally got round to doing it at that time.
What kind of support did you have? Did you feel you could talk to people about the side effects?
Yeah, the service where I was treated had a really good system of clinical nurse specialists. The other big place, I suppose, where I spoke about it was at the group where we first met a couple of years ago. So that was a really good setting to feel comfortable, to be able to talk through those kinds of side effects.
I was able to talk to friends a bit, but actually the support group was very useful. It felt as though you were among people who not only had gone through something similar but were gay, and so there was a lot of stuff that you could assume without explanation, and you didn't have to be sort of cautious about how you talked about sex related things.
There's just, I think, in a group of LGBT people, you just know that that stuff isn't going to make people fall off their chairs or not going to, be unable to listen to what you say after you've said that.
That's very true, and I think it was just very refreshing to be in an environment where there wasn't any problem like that, and where there wasn't an assumption. I mean, one of the assumptions that I found in a lot of the sort of literature and things that people said from the various charities that are involved and so on is that there's an assumption that you are a straight man in late middle age, and you have a wife who is going to support you through the difficulties of erectile dysfunction. And a lot of the stuff that people say and the things that they suggest, and even just the imagery that appears in the leaflets, is very much focused on that.
Yeah, I agree that I think a support group can really combat that sense that you're on your own, because either you find there are people with the same problem as you or people with worse problems, which isn't very nice, but it can be, it can put things in perspective.